Have you ever thought about, hey, is my screen upside down? That's weird. Let me try to fix it. Right, one sec. And bam! Is it good now? Okay, cool. Anyways, hello everybody. This is that Manga Dude, and welcome to a very different kind of video. We are getting very close to the holiday season, for the most part at least, and we're getting close to that time where people are starting to buy gifts and presents for people, and I thought it would be really interesting to do a manga shopping holiday guide. And this is going to be an interesting video for me specifically because I think I just tried to choose a bunch of volumes that I find to be very fascinating, very awesome stories, but not your typical run-of-the-mill series. There are a couple here that I would say are popular, but for the most part, I tried to stray away from really, really big series like the One Pieces, the Jujutsu Kaisens, and series like that. So I tried to pick out series that people will enjoy. I'll kind of fit them into these different categories and themes as I go through this video, and hopefully if you haven't picked these up before, maybe you'll pick them up for you, for a friend, for family, for a significant other, I don't know, for your dog if the dog can read. Anyways, let's get started with this very special video right now. Alright, so the first type or topic or theme that we're going to be tackling today is I'm going to be showing you action series. So these are the series, in my opinion, that a lot of people, some people are talking about, but for the most part have been kind of under the radar in terms of release. So you should definitely pick these up if you're the person you're buying a gift for, including yourself, is into action series. So first up, I'm going to suggest Dan. So Dan from Yukinobu Tatsu currently has 5 volumes out as of the making of this video, and yeah, it's a really crazy, wacky story. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but if this is your first time here, let me tell you a little bit about Dan. So it features a story about this guy and this girl, or this guy and this girl, and they are interested in various different things. They're very different people, but she believes in demons, but she does not believe in aliens. While the guy, on the other hand, he believes in aliens, but does not believe in demons. So they make a bet. Hey, how about you go to a famous demonic spot while you go to a famous alien spot? And lo and behold, each of them find out that the thing that they thought did not exist does exist. So it begins their wacky, crazy story as they proceed to try to deal with these aliens and this demon. And it's an absolutely crazy story. Like I've already mentioned, the action is fantastic. The art is very, very good. It's just a fun time if you want like just a kind of a crazy, goofy, super intense, all gas, no brakes kind of story. This is the perfect action series for you. And then up next, this one is a little bit different. This is Candy and Cigarettes from Tomonori Inoue. There is currently 6 volumes out in English, and this one is more of like a spy kind of thriller kind of series. So to give you an idea of what this one is about, basically there's this girl here. She is a famed assassin. She's really good at her job, and she teams up with this older man who is officially retired from the police force and has become a cleaner, which he thought was just going to be basic cleaning, but what it really meant was cleaning up for her messes after her assassination attempts. So it's about their friendship together and them trying to take down this evil corporation across the board. And yeah, I think it's pretty solid. The art is pretty good. The action is, like I mentioned, fantastic. As I'm going to be saying for a lot of it, it is a little bit more explicit than Dan. So please just keep that in mind, that if you're trying to buy this for younger people, just to know there's going to be a lot more gore and a lot more like violence in this one. So just something to keep in mind if you're trying to buy for younger people. I will try to state which ones are better for children as I proceed through this video. But yeah, this is a very, very good action series from 7 Seas, and definitely worth a pickup if you're into that kind of stuff. Alright, up next into probably one of the most popular ones that's going to be in this video. That is Alice in Borderland from Haro Aso. There is currently 7 volumes of this fantastic series from Viz Media. And yeah, to give you a story, basically it follows a story about Arisu, who is the guy in the front here, who gets teleported to this place called Borderland, where he has to survive through these intense death games and try to figure out how to escape this very violent and very scary world. Once again, this is another one that has a lot of violence, a lot of gore. So if you're kind of against that and you're trying to buy for children, I would say avoid this story. But if you're an adult or if you approve of your children reading that kind of stuff, this is a fantastic series. The action is awesome. the story is actually very, very interesting, and there's a lot of mysteries that do get solved and answered as you proceed to read the series, which is always a great thing to have. So if you want a fantastic story with great characters and also a very solid live action series, then yeah, this is the series for you. And last but not least, for action stuff, I actually added this one at the last second, but this is Heart Gear from Tsuyoshi Takaki. There is currently one volume out at the making of this video, but there's going to be a second one releasing at the end of November. So if you're going to be picking those up, you'll know that for now. But basically, it follows a story about this post-apocalyptic world where there are not a lot of humans left. There's this girl here who is one of the last humans, and she's living with her robot dad in this world trying to survive. And lo and behold, they find another robot who they join their ranks when they are attacked by a rogue robot that proceeds to destroy quite a bit, but the girl survives, and the robot turns out to be like this guardian kind of warrior robot. So they proceed on a journey to resurrect her dead robotic father, going through this crazy wasteland. So this is a fantastic story. The action, like I'm going to be mentioning with all the action series, is fantastic, but the art is gorgeous. It is exciting. It's strong. There's a lot of really, really fun moments. If you like things with big explosions, if you're a big Pacific Rim guy, if you're a big Transformers person, I think you're really gonna like Heart Gear. There's a lot of really cool sci-fi elements as well. This is a really fun one, and it's definitely just getting its feet in the water, I think is the best way to put it. So definitely give this a shot if you're willing to try a unique sci-fi story. Okay, so we're gonna go into a big jump from action to slice of life / school life. So there's gonna be a mix in this one as well. So there's gonna be, I'm gonna have to explain myself with one of them, because one of them is more of a slice of life and definitely not school life. But specifically with the first three, these are all going to be school life based. Some of them are rom-coms, some of them are kind of like an action shonen series. Here we go. So first up, I have Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun from Osamu Nishi. This one is extremely popular and basically everywhere, but what appears is not in the US as much. We only have 4 volumes as we are speaking at this time, but there is like 30 plus volumes in Japan, as well as in actually a variety of other countries that seems to have a lot. It seems to be a lot more popular there, and hopefully this series continues to catch on as well. So basically this follows the story of Iruma here. He is just a basic boy who gets sold off to a demon. So, and the demon comes to be found, you come to find out, is like the very important person at the school. So he joins a demon school where he is a human and everybody else is not. So it's about his wacky adventures as he proceeds to go through this and meets a lot of really cool demons and a lot of really weird demons. So overall, this is a really fun one. It's really cute. There's a lot of great moments already from just the first 3 volumes. I really liked a lot of the character designs, and I really like a lot of the character moments. We get a lot of development between the characters, even within the first volume, but as we've proceeded to read through it, yeah, this one's a really solid one. I would say this is, for currently, right now, I would say this is okay for children to read, but definitely give it, a little flip through if you're worried about it, just in case. But yeah, this one's really fun. I really enjoy it. All right, up next, a little bit different, just a little bit. This one is Honey Lemon Soda. So this is from Mayu Murata. There is currently 3 volumes with a 4th volume coming out in November. Really excited about this series. I've been really enjoying it. It's another fairly long series as well. Follows the story about this girl here on the front, who is a kind of a quiet girl. A lot of people say she's basically like a rock because she doesn't really say much. She doesn't really stand up for herself. But she meets this dude with blonde hair who's really nice to her. And he's kind of one of those like weird people where you can't gauge how he's like. Seems like a delinquent, seems like he's not at the same time. But they start to develop a friendship, and she starts to proceed to grow throughout her time here. And she obviously has some kind of crush on this guy here. And yeah, I think overall this story is really nice. There's a lot of really great moments just in general, especially for the main character as she proceeds to grow, proceeds to like basically fight off all of the flaws or all of the difficulties she faces throughout her basic school life. If you're expecting something like super crazy and explosions, you're not going to get it here. But if you're looking for like actual character growth, character drama that seems real, and very strong character driven story, I would say give this one a shot. It's really cute, and the art is also really pretty, just as like a note. So yeah, this one is a good time. All right, coming up next, this is one that I added just last minute, but that is Insomniacs After School from Makoto Ojiro. There are currently 3 volumes out for this series, and yeah, this one is probably one of my favorites that's coming out now. It features a story about these 2 kids here who are insomniacs, so they have a really hard time sleeping at night, so they develop a friendship because of that. After he finds her sleeping in basically the abandoned observatory at their school. So yeah, it's about their lives together and how they proceed to suffer / deal with their insomnia, hang out with each other, spending time with one another. But it's an absolutely cute story. It's really, really nice. The characters are extremely well written. The art is absolutely gorgeous. Which it's funny to say, but there's something about it that feels very homely. You feel like you're with them at all times. You're just hanging out with them. It just feels like a nice summer breeze is the best way to explain it. Whatever the heck that means. But if you want just like nice, chill, calm, really fun little like slice of life series with a little bit of romance in there, this is a great series to go with. Ton of fun. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's so beautiful. And last but not least, the one that I'm going to have to explain the most, because this is a slice of life series, does not have to do with school life, but that is Dinosaur Sanctuary from Itaru Kinoshita. Research consultant is Shinichi Fujiwara. So, this series currently has 3 volumes out, and this follows a story about a girl who falls in love with dinosaurs and wants to work at basically a dinosaur sanctuary, as the name suggests. Think Jurassic Park if Jurassic Park was done in a kind way, or if Jurassic Park worked, if that makes sense. So it's really cute. It's also really informational. I think it's great in that aspect of it. I think this is a good one for children as well. There's not a ton of big words other than like the dinosaurs' names, but children really tend to love dinosaurs, as you can see through reading this. It's really informational. It's really fun. If you are like a science nerd, or if your kids love science, this is a series that I would highly suggest picking up, just because like the dinosaurs are really well rendered and drawn, and you get a lot of interesting information about them that is actually accurate to how the dinosaurs are. So really cool series. It's pretty short for now, so definitely give it a shot. It's a fun time. Alright, into our next genre or information or whatever you want to call it. The next part of the holiday shopping list, we're going to be talking about mystery series. So if you didn't know, mystery is one of my favorite genres. I just love like trying to figure out who the murderer is or the perpetrator is, and I just tend to really like these kinds of series. Because it's really character driven and really strong on writing for the most part, which is my cup of tea. So I have 2 series for you in this genre, and that is going to be first, Don't Call It Mystery from Yumi Tamura. There are currently 2 omnibuses out, aka there are 4 volumes total, with a 3rd volume supposed to be slated for November. So, or not November, excuse me, December. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be buying the entire release currently. But this is a really awesome story following this guy here with the afro who is wrongly accused of being the murderer of somebody within his apartment complex. So this guy is really quirky, he's really weird, but he's really smart too, extremely observational, so he's really in tune with people in a way, but also kind of awkward in that aspect. He basically rambles on a lot. But overall, this is a very strong character-driven story, like I mentioned before. The mysteries are actually kind of interesting, or not kind of, they are very interesting, and there's a lot of interesting characters that surround our main character. There's also just a lot of moments where even though this is very dense, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of talking. They really do bring up some interesting topics that will get you thinking throughout the entire series. Not just about the mysteries themselves, but also just about life in general. So yeah, if you're looking for a very strong character-driven series with some really, really good art, Don't Call It Mystery is a must pick up. And this one's a little bit older, but I had to talk about it because this is one of my favorite series from last year, and that is Lost Lad London Shima Shinya. There are currently 3 volumes of this series out, and that is the complete series. So you can buy this entire series for somebody, but this has got absolutely gorgeous, unique art, unlike anything I've ever seen in the Mangascape before, but follows the story of this kid here, who basically was again wrongly accused in a way of a murder that occurs on a train. So he's being followed by the police, and he meets this other policeman slash detective who is kind of doing his own thing in a way, but knows that like the main character is not the murderer. So they are trying to figure out who the murderer is. This is a very, very fantastic series. I love this series so much. It has really strong art, really well-written characters. Even like some of the characters that are kind of like one-offs have actually interesting stories throughout them, and you get to kind of think about and contemplate what they're doing after the series or during the series. So yeah, it's just a really, really strong narrative-driven story. We get to the end of it really fast, which is probably its only fault in my opinion, but honestly it's not even that bad. It's absolutely lovely. This series is super cool. Definitely give it a shot, or give it as a gift, because I think somebody will appreciate it. Alright, up next, I have something called Important Stories. These are going to be stories that I think are prevalent or just important to read in general, to learn more about a variety of topics. Some of them might be sensitive, some of them might be ones that are looked down upon by some people in a variety of different communities, but I think are extremely important to be discussing in general, to check out and just to understand where these people are coming from. So first up, we have ourselves Until I Love Myself. There are currently only 2 volumes of this series. It is a autobiographical series from a non-binary manga artist named Poppy Pesayama, and it follows their story throughout a variety of situations and encounters that they have throughout their lifetime, and how they've molded themselves, or how they've molded their life up to this point. There's a lot of just really awful things that occur to Poppy Pesayama, but they are tackled in a very strong and important way. Pesayama describes like everything with a lot of detail, and I think is very, very good at articulating the issues that they're facing with, whether that be gender dysphoria, whether that be general harassment. There's a lot more I could be saying, but I don't want to say it just in case, so I'm going to list it on the side here. But basically, they tackle a lot of topics and themes that you don't normally see within, like, not generic, but like popular or mainstream series. So I think this kind of series is really important to read, just so you can understand how like actions have consequences, because I feel like a lot of people don't truly understand that for some reason, or don't understand at least to the way that some actions can lead to how other people basically grow up, and it's not necessarily fair to them that you act that way, or that somebody acts that way. So I think the story is really good at articulating a variety of topics, like I said, and a variety of very sensitive topics as well. So if you want to read something like that, Until I Love Myself is a great series for that. Alright, up next, a little bit different. This one is called Is Love the Answer from Uta Isaki. So I've only talked about this once, and I actually really enjoyed it. But basically, this is a fictional series about this person here who's just trying to figure out like her sexuality and all this kind of stuff. Like, what does it really mean to be asexual? What does it mean for all these kinds of things? Because she doesn't really truly understand it. Like, she kind of feels one way, but doesn't feel another way. So this series, I think, tackles like everything that you want to know about that kind of stuff, specifically about like sexuality versus gender, and topics that I actually didn't think I knew very well, and I definitely feel a lot more learned after reading this. I think this is a worthwhile series to read. It's only 1 volume, so it's going to be pretty good, and I think it's important to read as a coming-of-age story, fictional story, while also tackling some pretty interesting themes as well. So yeah, give this a shot. All right, going into more of like a kind of a theme versus a genre. This is about traveling. So these series are about traveling outside of your comfort zone, or just traveling in general. I only have 2 series here, but I'm going to be talking about them because I very, 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 very much enjoy them. And first up is Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. There are 4 volumes of Monesenai series. And it's really, really great. It's a good series. Follows a story about these two dudes here who live in Japan, and one of them is like, I want to get married, but the other guy is like, only after we have traveled the world together. So they travel the world together, and yeah, it's just really fun to see them traveling through all these different countries. You get to experience it in such a fun way because Mone Sarai is really great at portraying these beautiful countries. Even the countries that don't have like the nicest laws, or some very discriminatory laws towards LGBTQ people, I still think it's fun to read through this so you can see the beauty of these countries while also tackling the fact that LGBT information and LGBT couples and everything like that is seen in different places and in different countries in a variety of different ways. So I think it tackles it in a very unique way, but the traveling is gorgeous, the writing is fun, the characters are a ton of fun, it's great. I think this is a great series if you want to just have a good time and explore the world. All right, up next. This one is a little bit more focused on one country, but that is Go With the Clouds, North by Northwest. This is from Aki Irie, and there are currently 6 volumes out for this series, and it is awesome. So basically it follows a story about this kid here on the front who moves from Japan to Iceland to live with his grandpa, and yeah, it's about his life there, living as a kind of like an errand boy, if that's what you call it, a detective, I don't know. He basically he's like a handyman. I think a handyman is the best way to explain it. But basically, he just does like random odd jobs for people across the island of Iceland. And yeah, just gets to explore the country. It is an absolutely gorgeous manga. This manga is what caused me to want to travel to Iceland. It's very gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to visit Iceland. So I could be like, wow, I saw that in this manga. This is a really good one. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, which is really unfortunate because I think it's very, very good and definitely deserves a lot more eyes on it. It is a lot of fun, and you're going to have a great time if you really love traveling. All right, up next, I put this as the unique sports section. So basically, this is going to be manga that are kind of like sports manga, but like it's not your typical manga, or not typical sports. So it's not going to be basketball, it's not going to be soccer or anything like that. It's going to be more about acting, and you'll see what I mean. So first up, I'm going to be talking about Kageki Shoujo. So this is volume 1, but there are currently 10 volumes, including this one shot, so I guess there's technically 11, The Curtain Rises, from Kumiko Saiki. Follows the story here about this girl on the front here who wants to join this, like, basically this theater troupe, which is known for having all-female actors or actresses, excuse me, and it's a really great series. I think it tackles a lot of interesting and fun themes, and I think the art is great. It does everything really, really well. Do I say read this first? I would say yes. I would say I highly suggest reading this first, but if you don't want to, you don't necessarily have to read it, but you will be missing some of the context as you move into the series that is addressed in The Curtain Rises. So something to keep in mind if you're going to read this series. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic series. I really, really like it. I think the acting is done really well. I think a lot of the story is actually interesting and really keeps you like driven and really into it. And I can't wait to keep reading it. So hopefully whoever you buy it for, if you're buying it for yourself, you'll enjoy it too. Alright, up next, we have ourselves Akane-Banashi from Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moe. So, this series just recently released, and we only have 2 volumes, but we're going to be having a 3rd volume out in December. So, yeah, this one's a really cool revenge story following this girl here on the front whose father was wrongfully expelled from his school, and she is trying to figure out why this happened, and in order to get revenge, she needs to rejoin the Rakugo storytelling troupe. So it's about her journey as she proceeds to become a better Rakugo storyteller and also try to find out what the heck happened. It's a ton of fun. It's done in a really fun way. The story is great. It keeps you hooked from page 1. The Rakugo itself is explained in a way that doesn't make you feel stupid, but it also gives you just enough information so you know what is going on without being like, I don't get it, which is always appreciated for a sports series, especially like a unique sports series like this one. Really love this manga. I've been having a great time with it. It's definitely worth picking up if you're like shonen stuff, and obviously if you want to just give yourself a unique story in itself, and an interesting sport that not a lot of people talk about. So Akane-Banashi, definitely worth picking up. Alright, back to a normal genre now. So this is going to be the fantasy stuff. And it's going to be pretty predictable if you've been watching my channel for a long time what is going to be here. So first up, we have ourselves Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Volume 1, which this is a 9-volume series from Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe. And yeah, wow, this is a great fantasy series. If you're looking for a high fantasy series akin to like Lord of the Rings-esque-ness, although this is more of a slice of life kind of series, this is the series for you. It follows the story of Frieren, who is this elf girl here on the front, who goes on a journey with this team here, which is Himmel, Hater, and I always forget what this guy's name is, and I feel bad. But basically, a long time ago, they go on their thing and they defeat the Demon Lord, and now the battle is over. So it's about what happens after this journey is finished. It tackles the theme of death. It tackles the theme of living without the people that you love, or not truly understanding the people that you love. It's about developing friendships, developing a variety of things. It is a beautiful series, has an amazing anime out as well, so if you're looking for a series that you can read and watch at the same time, Frieren is perfect for that. There are currently, like I said, 9 volumes out, and this is a continuously releasing series. It is awesome. It is a ton of fun. The art is gorgeous as well. If you just want a great time just to relax, that'll help you feel in some emotions throughout it, Frieren is worth the pickup. And another one that's a little bit less like... it's fantasy in a magic kind of sense, but that is called The Name of the Night from Tama Mitsuboshi. So there are currently 2 volumes out for this series, and it is gorgeous. Follows the story here about this girl who's afflicted with this, let's say like kind of like sickness in a way, but basically where if she starts to feel anxious in a sort of way, the darkness or the night starts to flow out of her and consume everything around her. So it's about her story as she is living with the doctor who is trying to help cure her and truly understand like that what her power is all about. It is gorgeous. The story is great. The characters are amazing as usual, and the fantasy elements are a ton of fun. They don't really keep you on your toes, and it's just like, it's one of those series that's just super gorgeous. I would say it's akin to a series that I'm going to be talking about right after it, but I really enjoyed this one, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it, so definitely pick this one up if you're looking for like a magic kind of fun little series. It's great. And then the big boy, the one we had to talk about, and I needed to add because we had to, that is Witch Hat Atelier. 11 volumes of Kamome Shirahama's amazing series. This series, I think, is perfect for children and adults alike. The storytelling is taught and is told in a way that you'll enjoy regardless of how old you are. It's an absolutely gorgeous series following the story of Coco here in the front, who finds basically this book and accidentally crystallizes her mother. In order to discover how to destroy this crystal form, she goes with Quifrey, who is a witch, and she proceeds to learn magic as an apprentice. So it's a really gorgeous series. The storytelling, like I said, is fantastic. It's a really fun story throughout. You're going to have a lot of themes tackled throughout it that you're going to be like, oh, that's me. It's super beautiful. There are a lot of moments where you'll get choked up. A lot of moments you'll be laughing your butt off. A lot of moments you'll feel super excited and happy for like their momentum and all the things that they learn. It's just beautiful. It's a really great series. I love this series so much, and it deserves all of the accolades it receives. So yeah, if you're looking for an absolutely wonderful high fantasy series, focusing mostly on witches and magic, the Witch Hat Atelier is definitely a must pick up. Alright, up next, this is called Classics Revisited. So this is going to be the last section. I'm going to be talking about series that have gotten re-releases, that are older series that have been around for a long time, but we have not seen in English print in an extremely long time. So, up first we have Tokyo Babylon from Clamp. I've talked about the series already in pretty good length in a variety of my reading log or my FBI. But yeah, it follows a story about basically these two these twins. One of them is basically the head of an Omnioji, which I would basically I would compare it to a shaman or an exorcist. So it's about him trying to figure out what is going on, and in order to like exorcise these spirits from messing everything up in Tokyo. So yeah, it's a really cool series. I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's really nice release as well. It has beautiful color pages, which is always a fun thing to see. And yeah, this is a good release in general. It's cool to see Tokyo Babylon back in print, and excited to keep reading it. So definitely check this one out if you're looking for an old school, like 90s to 2000s, like Exorcist series. Alright, up next, this is the one that I know the least about, but it just released. We have ourselves Housing. There's only one volume currently out from Kota Hirano's classic series, but I believe this is supposed to be like a demon slaying kind of series. I don't know much about it, but I know it's very gory, it's very action-packed, and a lot of people really, really like it. So it's really cool to see it again, and yeah, can't wait to keep picking it up. And yeah, if you're looking for an old school action series, definitely give this one a shot. And last but not least, we have ourselves Marmalade Boy from Wataru Yoshizumi. There are 3 volumes of this collector's edition out now. And yeah, they are a beautiful collector's edition for sure. We get some absolutely gorgeous color pages, which we always appreciate. But basically, it follows a story about these two kids here on the front, where their parents have basically married into themselves. So the best way to explain it is, like, his dad is marrying her mom, and her dad is marrying his mom. Very weird, very awkward, very just odd. But yeah, it's about their relationships, friendship together, and how they're going to figure it out, because now it's really awkward and kind of weird. But yeah, it's a cute little series. If you're looking just for like a fun slice of life, semi-rom-com series, I'd say give it a shot. Like I said, this is a beautiful release. The color pages are amazing. And yeah, overall, it's a pretty fun one. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are looking to possibly pick up these volumes for yourself, or for a significant other, for a friend, for family, etc., etc., etc. I think this was a fun video for me to make. I explained more than I usually do, so I hope that helped to sell some of these series for you. I really, really do think all these series are worth picking up, obviously for the right kind of person. So definitely give them a shot, or give them as a gift, and see how your friends or family or anybody reacts to it. I think these series all have their merits, and people will appreciate them for what they are. So you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all really amazing, appreciated things. Like it. I don't care if you do it often or if you do it once. You're all amazing. You're all awesome. And yeah, also I forgot to mention, but leave in the comments below if you're going to pick up any of these series for anybody, or if you've picked up these series before, or if you have a series that you would suggest to pick up for holiday for anybody upcoming. Because I would love to see what you guys suggest. These are all series that I tried to pick that are accessible now, that are easy to pick up. So just, yeah, keep that in mind if you're going to suggest stuff. Try and make a series that are easy to pick up nowadays. But yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye-bye-bye.